video I'm going to be doing some more backyard engineering with my little pile of scrap stuff and showing you how I took these twin carburettors off, oh well they're already off because I've done it, and put this single carburettor on, and how I made the throttle linkage and stuff like that. I reckon that is all I need to get them off. All the linkages set up on these carburettors are like a mirror image of each other, so that they're actually twin on the engine, and so that the adjustment screws are all in an accessible place. So I need to choose which carburettor to use, and it's going to be that one because my main throttle linkage is there, and on my new inlet manifold the stuff for the linkage is on this side. So that's the carburettor we're going to use. You can use both, you can mess about swapping linkages around, but it's going to be easier to use that one first, I reckon. That looks pretty cool actually. Right, so what I need to do now is the throttle cable comes out through there and the throttle linkage is here and it goes around that way. So that will pull that way. I've got to make some sort of linkage up here. That's going to take a little bit of engineering. So I just tried an 8mm bolt and that's too big, and a 6mm bolt is too small, but I found this tent peg which is a pretty good size. So that's the size we need. I'm probably going to use this anyway because I don't have any bolts in between. The other thing I've got to work out is, because the throttle cable and throttle pedal move a different distance to what this moves to get it to full throttle, I've got to work out a ratio of what the linkage needs to be, the difference between that movement and that movement. So my old throttle linkage for the twin carbs worked absolutely great, so I'm just going to measure where this was and work it out like that. So if I put that in the center there, so that's 73mm. Let's write that down, shall we? 73, 75, and then this here, so the hole I used is 65. Now I've got to work out that ratio. Or I could make the linkages the same size, but the only trouble is that's quite a long piece of metal to be moving around like that. That's not gonna work. I worked it out that this is what I'm going to make the linkage with, what fits on the cable and is the first bit what gets pulled, and I basically halved them other measurements I had there for my old linkage, and this is 32.5 this needs to be. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a hole there, 32.5, and that's my first bit of linkage. I'm going to do the same the other side, cut it in half, weld them together so that goes through them both and the cable will run through the middle of them. This doesn't have to be really exact because I'm going to make the other end adjustable anyway. It's always good to have a bit of adjustment in stuff. I'm rubbish at drilling holes. I think it's because I'm impatient. What's going on here? See what I mean? This is what I'm trying to make, this here. So that's my initial cable holder there, and that's the distance I want. That's where the pivot's going to be. It's going to go like that. Right, that's actually too long, like that. It hits there. It needs to be shorter. I really want to have it moving over the top like that rather than the bottom, because if it's at the bottom, that's actually turning the wrong way, and I'd have to put another linkage in to reverse it. So this really needs to be at the top there like that, but it's a little bit long at the moment, so we're going to move that hole. But then I don't know if that's going to have enough throw on it. So you've got to think about that. Oh, that throttle pump goes that way, that's alright. I'm just going to make it a little bit shorter, about down there I reckon. But there looks like there's a throttle stop there anyway, so it's probably where it should go. Maybe I should look at some which are actually already made. That's boring. What I'm going to do is I'm going to weld that nut on there, and then this will be my grub screw to hold that on the shaft, because I want to dismantle it from this end, because it will be easier to slide the shaft out from this direction, if you know what I mean. And if I bolt that together like that, that's going to hold them nuts in the right place. I might weld them both on, well I will do for strength, and then I can flip it round if the threads ever go in this bit or whatever. This is quite a detailed video, but I think it's a really interesting topic. So now I've just got to figure out this end, which basically that's going to twist that way and pull that down like that. But I can weld this end on. Now I've got that bolted on that end, because everything can come apart from that end, and it can slide out there. I also make sure I pick up any nuts and washers and interesting stuff like this on my travels, because it's really handy for doing stuff like this. I've just welded this piece of stainless to this galvanised tent peg with my trusty Arc Captain MiG 200, and that's going to be, that's the linkage, which is, well, this is the throw of the linkage, so I can now adjust the amount of throw it has on it, because I don't know where it needs to be yet. I've just got to trim that off there, and then I'll show you that. I didn't really want to do this, but I'm going to cut and shut this linkage off of my dual carburettors, but it's reversible because it's been done before. Look, see? Right, so this is what we've got. I've got that end I've shown you already, but this end has got my bit of linkage there, which is adjustable that way for more throw. This rod is adjustable a little bit that way. You don't really need it necessarily. That's handy for twin carbs for actually synchronising them, but when there's only one throttle linkage, it's not too bad. I've got to work out the space in between here because I've got to get that to miss that and stuff, but basically it looks like it's going to work. I might need a little more throw on there, but you tell me. I'm going to go and press the throttle pedal. Right, tell me if it works. How was it? First try, nailed it. I just need to do a little bit of adjustment on this throw and put some bushings in here so it doesn't slide backwards and forwards like that, but I'm pleased with that. Schoolboy error, I didn't have the distributor cap on when I did all this, and it's very close, so I'm going to have to space that all that way to miss this, and that's no worries, I can chop that off to miss this. So just all of a little bit of adjustment. I need to do some work on a distributor to spin it round so that the leads work a little bit better, but this is all minor stuff. Let's see if it starts. Leads are on all. Right, let's try that again. This is so much easier to get some spark plugs now. Look at that, it's so easy. Right, well, I'm just going to take it for a little spin. It's not properly tuned up yet, but I'm just going to see if it makes what sort of difference it makes. I still think I've got a couple of dodgy spark plugs right now too. That sounds absolutely awful. Sounds like it's just popped a spark plug right out. Well, this might have something to do with it. And there's nothing in that hole. I probably forgot to do a spark plug up and it's just blown straight out. That's probably why it's running crap as well. I reckon this is the problem here. It's the road spark plug calibration. Well, at least it hasn't got any threads on it. So that's a good sign. Part of the way to read a spark plug is to see how the strap is burnt, to see what sort of timing you got. And what not many people do is actually look at the strap to see how much road it's got. That's got a lot. Right, well that's that then. Well, it's not really, because it's not running right yet. So in the next video I'll show you how I sort that out and how I tune the carburettor and stuff like that. So I'm also going to be addressing the distributor to get that a bit neater and the leads a bit neater. I've also got to put the heat risers in it, which go there on the exhaust, so I've got to drill that or grind that out again. And there's just little tubes that go and heat the inlet manifold so that the carburettor doesn't ice up. I've probably got an air leak because this manifold is a bit tight up against these little manifolds, so I might have to trim a bit off there I might have an air leak, that may be the running fault. But we're going to sort all that out in the next video. I don't really want to do it now because I'm tucked up away in the carport from Cyclone Alfred, and it's right underneath my neighbour's window, and it's going to be a bit noisy, so I'll take that down in the yard to do that at another time. So make sure you like, subscribe and comment and all that good stuff. Have a great day.